Hello, everyone. Just a few more minutes and then we will be all together. I see that my partner in crime is getting ready. Looks like somebody finished the puzzle because I know there was a few words left when I went to get my coffee. So let's see what we can do with this puzzle while we are waiting for my partner in crime. Let's see, gentle attentions. Ooh, one across goes all the way across the board. I've not seen a puzzle like this in a long time where the clues go all the way across. Gentle attentions. I don't know that one. 11 across. The spy who came in from the cold. Title character. See, I don't know. I feel like the spy who came in from the cold, was that not John Le Carre is the author, but I don't know. I've never read it, so I don't know. Line of upscale German SUVs.
Hello?
Let's see. Hello.
I once again have itchy morning eyes. I think I'm just getting dog dander into my eyeballs, honestly.
Ronald, you've gone through a whole puzzle while I was getting coffee?
We went through two. Ronald finished one, and then he and I both finished the next one.
Oh my goodness. Good for you. Just speeding through those tiny puzzles.
Can you tell how many puzzles are left on the site? Are we getting to the end of the site?
I haven't looked because I have it set now on auto so that it'll just roll over to the next puzzle just in case I'm not here getting coffee. Okay, you're hearing a sound. I heard a little something a second ago.
Oh, wait. Here, if I do this, does that get rid of that sound?
Well, I don't hear this. I don't hear the sound anymore.
I have my lights on my headphones, and I can't remember if I said it previously, but when the lights are on, I can physically hear a sound of. It's like a whining.
Yeah,
Ronald said to fix it.
Yeah, Ronald says he thinks it's your lights. So are we gonna bring
I should probably
Instagram in?
I have not done that yet. Let me.
I always feel a little bit bad because we take so long to get started, and I do my best to rush and at least get the puzzle going. But I started paying attention, the puzzle going at 10 o'clock, even if I'm not sitting here at 10 o'clock. But then I've noticed some of the people that I watch who have posted up their live stream.
They always have like a waiting screen. Yeah,
they have but like even the professionals like Marketplace, they do a live thing on Fridays, and it's a whole 15-20 minutes before they go live. So it's not just us, but I'm still venturing to get on here earlier than, right at 10 because that's the time we set. But again, I try to at least have the puzzle if I'm not quite ready yet.
Yeah, those other people just have like a screen for people to watch. We have a game.
Yes, we have something for you to do while you wait for us. You mean that and the fact that we don't have a theme?
We have a theme. I don't know what you're talking about.
We talk about everything and nothing.
Let's do this, and then do that. Okay, so I've got you over in the corner, and then I need to
see. While you're doing your fiddly do, let me see if I can do more of this puzzle. Yeah, kind of like Seinfeld. We are nothing like Seinfeld. Let's see, 14 beat check.
Tomorrow's opening night for Ronald. Exciting. Remind us, what show are you doing?
Then you finally get your life back. Oh, but you wouldn't do this if you didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, Ronald, Ari, and I were playing VR games and stuff. The Prom. I
The
don't think I
Prom.
know anything about it. But we were playing VR games and stuff.
There's a movie version of it on Netflix. I have not watched it, but
I might go check it out. But we were playing VR games, and Ronald said that the costume director was putting him in like caftans and stuff, and I'm like, the caftans are like comfortable, aren't they? I want a caftan, sir. Oh my god. My room is slowly being filled with dog farts. You're gonna see me collapse from the stink.
well, that's what you get for having dogs.
They're fine unless he's confined in a small area. He is the fartiest dog. We had one dog, and she's totally, well, she's not totally fine, but she wasn't super like stinky. She was like, obviously dogs poop and everything, but like she wasn't super stinky. And then we got him just from the day that he was born. Toot 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 toot. So stink.
No. This puzzle is hard. I have looked at all of the acrosses and I don't know any of them.
Ronald also said, I said to the consumer I should shave, right? Because I play FDR in the show. I don't know who that is. Oh, that's funny. Okay, let's get the proper banners going. Coffee Klatsch. Get rid of the crossword. Yeah, I know. The reason that I know, though, is a very dumb reason. I know because, unless I'm remembering incorrectly, he was very prominently featured in one of the Annie movies. I think it's the 1999 version with Alan Cumming. Wasn't that the same one?
Yes.
Alan Cumming, and it had FDR, and then what's her name? But yeah, that for some reason is what locked who that is in my brain. Okay.
Are we ratified?
Yeah, I'm switching the music to the stream music. Stream music loading?
I got crazy hair today.
You and me both. My hair is just pulled back into a little bun thing that no one is going to see today, hopefully.
I did not even bother to pull mine back. Are you not working today?
No. Remember, my markets are canceled for this month, and so today would have been a day that I was going to.
You have a job.
Yes, but I don't work on Wednesdays because normally I have market on Wednesday. So this is a crocheting day.
Whatever you say, ma'am.
Anyway, are we ready to go live?
I'm asking you so we can hurry up and do this so I can eat my food.
I'm asking you. Are you ready?
I am ready.
World ready? Ronald, are you ready? Everybody in the chat, are we all ready? Wallace, are you ready? Stop shooting. We're going live. Okay. Going live on Instagram in 3, 2, 1-ish. Yes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wednesday version of the Coffee Klatsch. I am one of your presenters, Dani, the Late Lady, and this is my co-presenter and partner in crime,
Artemis, the fatigued as usual.
And we are here. If you've not been here before, if you're new to us, want to know a little bit about us, we are here to be your audio ambiance, your background sound. We are here to keep you company while you do the laundry. Excuse me. Recover from a cough that you can't seem to get rid of. Take care of those toddlers who are running all over the living room. And if you are sitting at a tea party where nothing seems to be going on. So you're sitting in the corner reading a book, thinking that life is boring. And in just a couple more weeks, it's going to end for you because your father has sold you to 100-year-old beta dragon because he needs the money and he feels like none of the other betas are going to select you at the selection ceremony. I have a secret for you. I'm the reader. I know the future. And you have better than that 100-year-old dragon coming up. Just be patient. And that last scenario was from my latest book that I am reading called The Alpha of Bleak Isle by Catherine Moon, one of my favorite authors.
Such a turn.
Oh, I wanted to put a whole lot more into that intro, but just in case somebody wants to read it, I didn't want to give away too much. Because this is a book that's not just romance, but there's some political intrigue. So I didn't want to give away too much, but it's a good one. Catherine Moon is one of my favorite authors.
Nice.
I don't read all her stuff, but she does when she does a subject, because we'll talk about that later. How are you doing today?
I am tired. I've woken up the last 3 days with headaches and migraines. So today was just a headache, not too bad. I've taken some medicine, so we'll see. But it is, yeah. Bummer. That's why it's been taking me longer to get in here, because I was like, I'm just not feeling it.
Well, that is too bad. That is too bad. So, do we have any life updates?
Well, before we do the life update, wait, why is all of my stuff breaking? Hang on. Why is everything breaking? It feels like Spectrum is coming for me. Let me close everything. It feels like Spectrum is really coming for me today.
Did I lose you?
I don't know if it's me or you. Okay. Before we do life updates, what are you drinking?
Oh, that is true. We forgot to talk about what we're drinking.
You forgot. I did not.
I am drinking my usual Cafe Bustelo, with a hit of my mushroom coffee. And today's creamer is Italian sweet cream, which is one of my favorite flavors.
I am not drinking coffee today. I'm drinking tea today in my Moomin cup. But I've got the little strap on it today. Wayne put the strap on it today because it is so hot. It is so hot. But I'm drinking tea from a local tea place. The funny story about this tea is Wayne was out with a friend and stopped by a shop and was like, oh my goodness, I have to get this. Maya's going to love this. I'm definitely going to get it. And so he gets me this tea, and then I have to break the news to him that I'm like, oh yeah, I'll definitely love that. I know that I'll love that because I had already bought the tea. I had bought this tea at a market that I was at because the same tea vendors were at a market that I was at. And I bought it, but I sat it on my desk, and then it became part of the desk environment, and I forgot that it was there. And so I never got to drink any of it. And so that's probably why he didn't know that I had it, because again, it was part of the desk environment. It was part of the set of my desk. And so, but it's the Asheville Tea Company. This is Lavender Limoncello.
Cool.
Figure it out. Yes, it's very good. I've been drinking it for the last couple days. It's a white peony tea with lemon balm, lemongrass, lemon peel, lavender flower, and calendula flower. And for the little caffeine markers, they've got 3 leaves to represent the caffeine markers. This is a 1 leaf in caffeine. So less caffeine, which might be why I'm having headaches, honestly, because I've been drinking tea the last 3 days.
I like when they put the markers. I like when they put the markers on the tea or coffee to let you know. They don't do it so much on coffee, but I see it sometimes on tea where they let you know roughly how caffeinated this is. or how it compares to a cup of coffee.
Hmm. It's very good, and I believe they ship. So if anybody wants to try it, it's the Asheville Tea Company. It's very good.
Well,
Ooh,
I'll have to
today's
take a look at
Bandle.
that.
Yeah, Ronald said today's Bandle is going in the
1981 is your
blister.
birth year. Please stop making me feel old.
Meanwhile, I feel like a young child.
I was in high school.
I was non-existent.
You were so non-existent. In 1981, I was still saying I do not want any children.
So non-existent.
So non-existent.
But yeah, you could probably order from the Asheville Tea Company and have them ship it to you. Because, like I said, I think they like ship out. So, but it's very good.
Any other life updates?
Ronald says there are people in my play who were born in 2009. Illegal. Illegal.
People born in 2009, so there's toddlers in your play.
Exactly. I didn't realize there were children featured in this play. Illegal. Life updates. I feel like I had life updates and now I can't. My foot is healing well. For those of you who saw that I really bunked up my foot. My foot is healing fine. I feel like I had another life update and it is just not coming to me. Because I have just not done anything with my life. Nope, I got nothing.
Well,
what about you?
Talk till I finish chewing.
Okay, I will probably go ahead and move on to Yanni Crafty Thoughts. I meant to, that's what I forgot to do. This is why I don't normally do the crossword at the beginning, because I usually use that time to add stuff into my Google Keep. So that I remember what I'm going to talk about.
Okay, no Yarny Crafty Thoughts yet, because mine will lead into Yarny Crafty Thoughts. We went to a family. Alan was calling it a family reunion. It was kind of like a family cookout. It was, what happened was, one of Alan's cousins decided he wanted to do something, have some sort of gathering or something for the aunties. One of his side hustles is he does barbecue. So he wanted to do a thing down near his house for the aunties. So then one of the aunties decided, well, we should make it a bigger gathering and just make it kind of a, not a memorial, but just kind of a reminiscence or whatever of the people who had passed in the family. And so everybody was supposed to bring something of the person that they remember, but that part didn't quite come off. But there's still a bunch of people who came down just to, you know, hang out and eat the food. And your father had a great time because, yes, several of the aunties were there, but most of who was there was like your father's generation, your father's
his like cousins,
so all of his cousins and stuff that he hung out with. You know, a lot in the past, a lot of times when we went to gatherings, it was all the aunties and stuff up and around and running things and stuff like that. But all of them are in like their 70s and 80s at this point. So like they're at the head table and everybody comes by and says hello, pays respects, all that other kind of stuff. The people all running around and joking and kikiing were your father and all of his cousins and his age group and whatever. But this is the kind of gathering, even more so, there's something on my screen. There you go. There was a dot on my screen that made me look like I had a pimple in the middle of my forehead, and I had to just, it was driving me crazy because I could see it and I had to get rid of it. Anyway, those kind of gatherings, the family gatherings, are more difficult for me. I'm an introvert, but I can somehow be okay in a group of strangers if I kind of know where, like if I know where the bathroom is and I know how to get in and out of the place and stuff like that, then I can go to, like, say, a concert or something and be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But a family gathering is difficult for me, especially Alan's family, because I've seen these people before.
Yes.
Except I have some sort of mental block or face
So
blindness
you
or
don't
something.
remember
I don't
who
remember
each
anybody's
person is.
names. I
Yep.
don't remember who
What
is
your
whose
relation is.
cousins. Exactly. I don't remember. I mean, a few of them, like, your Aunt Connie and your Aunt Sis,
Mm-hmm.
they stick out to me. But a lot of them, I don't remember who they are.
Well, you also
And
only see
so,
them like once a year, if that.
exactly. Exactly. Or even the ones I remember, like Cousin Rose or whatever, I don't really
Mm-hmm.
remember, like, her daughter's name or how old her
Mm-hmm.
daughter is,
She
or
has
what's
graduated
going
high
on
school.
with their life or whatever.
Wild.
She's graduated high school. Your father said she was only 17, so apparently he
I
didn't
could have
remember
sworn
either.
I saw pictures. I could have sworn I saw pictures on Instagram of her graduating high school. You continue talking.
So
I'm looking this up right
you're
now.
probably right, because we don't see them, even though they live in the same county. We don't see them
Yeah, we're
except
friends
at
on Instagram.
gatherings like this. So they roasted th- your father's cousin Ricky was there,
Mm-hmm.
and he helped cousin Bobby do all of it, because cousin Ricky, his side hustle is also doing, like, barbecues and fish fries and stuff, except is in a different he lives in a different area than Bobby, so they're not, like, on each other's territory,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. And so they were all helping each other. They had, like, several smokers going. They roasted a whole pig. I'm talking the whole
No,
pig
I don't think I've ever been to an
on
event
the
where they roasted an entire pig.
on the spit. Neither have I. Neither have I. And I mean, they brought the pig in on the spit. Two people
Mm-hmm.
carrying it in. I mean, it was clearly recognizably a pig. And we
Wild.
had minced barbecue. There was so much food left over. Your father said if he had known that they were going to be doing it up like this, he would not have made 2 pans of macaroni and cheese and the big pan of his baked beans, because
Yeah.
other people brought macaroni and cheese, and there was potato salad and chicken wings and
That's why y'all had
ribs
cups of beans in
and
the fridge when we were talking on
yes,
Sunday.
yes. There was because there was all that food left, and somebody needed to take all that food home, and everybody
Mm-hmm.
was like, I can't believe we have food left over. I can't believe we have food left over. And I was thinking to myself, part of it probably is, in the past when they've had these gatherings, our age group was, like, too young to do any of the cooking. So it
Mm-hmm.
was always the aunties who did the cooking, and there was a lot of young kids who didn't have, who had big appetites or whatever,
Yeah.
and so the food all got eaten up. But now we've got the older group did not do any cooking. It was all our age group, and we're all in our 40s and 50s, and we all know how to cook and everything now.
Was there
So
anybody younger there, like
there's
my
more
age and
people to
younger?
cook. There were some people your age, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was
But
some
not
people your age.
not really that many.
I don't know who they are, but there was some people who were there, because, like, um your father's cousin Terry, who has been on one of the cruises with us,
Mm-hmm.
her kids were there, and her
Mm-hmm.
grandkids were there. So Terry is your father's age. So her
Mm-hmm.
kids would be your age. So
Yeah.
her kids were there, and were there with their kids, who were, like, running around
Little.
making
Yeah.
noise, little, elementary school kids. So yeah, there were people in there. There were people, in their 30s or whatever there. I don't know who they are,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know who anybody is. But the food was good, but it's just that there was more, like, because the aunts who did the cooking, who used to do the cooking, there's only, like, 7 or 8 of them. But
Mm-hmm.
now that they have passed the mantle on. They're not doing the cooking, and it's passed on to their kids and whatever. There's 20 some people doing the cooking.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody brought something. So that's why there's so much leftover food, because there's more people cooking than there has been at these gatherings in the past.
There's more people cooking than there are people to eat the food.
Exactly. So everybody had to and there wasn't enough plates. We were all thinking next time if we do this, because we have that whole thing of, those to-go boxes. We have a whole thing of them in our garage.
Yeah, next time y'all don't cook anything, just bring plates and cups.
Exactly, bring plates and cups. And nobody had any more aluminum foil left to wrap over their plates, because they didn't have the to-go plates. They just had
the
styrofoam plates. So, but anyway, which leads into our yarny thoughts, because I was at this gathering and I am uncomfortable, and I wasn't the one doing any of the cooking or anything, because that's the other thing I'm uncomfortable with. Other people can walk into those situations and go and just know how to help and start jumping in and serving people. I don't know what to do. I feel uncomfortable because this is not my people. Like if I was at Terry's house, say, and they were having the gathering, I would kind of know how to jump in, but among these people, I don't know how to jump in. So I, of course, took my crochet with me.
Oh, did you get some good work done on your crochet along?
No, I didn't, because I didn't want it to be, when I go to things like that, I don't want it to be real obvious. I mean, you're going to see me crocheting, but I don't want to bring my whole big extra bag of yarn and stuff. I want to bring something small that I can stuff in my purse. And that project has gotten beyond the stuff in my purse thing. So I just took a crochet hook and a skein of yarn, and I had the pattern for that bucket hat, the one that Patrick makes all the time. I had that already
Google
on
Keep.
My thing.
You had it on Google Keep, right?
On my phone. Oh, and there was we had no cell service down there. None.
Were y'all outside or were you inside?
Well, they were doing the stuff outside, but it turned it was a whole, because we thought we were going to Bobby's house. So we thought it was a small gathering.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why that was another reason why your father made plenty of food, because he thought there was only going to be a few people there and not a lot of people bringing food. There was a bunch of people there. We were at some small town in South Carolina called Hickory Grove, and they had a town hall that you can rent out for.
So like a community center kind of.
Like a little town hall building, and there's a place outside with the smokers and everything, with the brick things already built in that you can use and stuff.
Oh, okay. So they didn't bring the smokers there. The smokers were already built.
They brought a couple of their own smokers, but then they also used the brick things, I guess, for the barbecue chicken or whatever. But we had fish too. They fried fish too. And
that's the thing I must say. I love good fish fry.
So we were inside because it was hot as AF outside. So we were inside with the there was air conditioning in the I mean, it wasn't a fancy building. It was just like a cinder block building, but they had chairs, and the chairs were not comfortable. But they had chairs and everything, and a bathroom. So, air conditioning, that's all you need. So I sat there while they were finishing up the food, because of course, they wanted to wait because people were getting lost
on the way over there,
because it is in nowhere, South Carolina. We found cows on the side of the road, whole herds of cats, not just like a random cow you see sometime when you're driving to North Carolina. No, whole herd of cows.
Okay, random
No.
cows that you see sometimes driving in North Carolina. When I'm driving up here in the mountains, this is like farmland.
Oh,
I
that's
see
right.
cows and
You
horses
see
and goats
bears.
all
Okay.
the time.
I forgot. But not in my part of North Carolina. So this was out in the country, no cell service. So we got lost and could not get the map to pull back up to get us
No.
back, to reroute us and get back to the right place. We had to drive all the way back to the place we last had some cell service,
And figure out where you took the wrong turn.
so that we could figure out where we had a wrong turn. It was, and even once we got there, there was no like I would have cell service just long enough to like send a text to Terry, and then the cell service would go out.
Uh-huh.
And then like 30 minutes later, I'd get her response that she probably sent right away, but I didn't have cell service because it just
Yeah.
kept. It was
Did you
awful.
check for Wi-Fi? Because like
No
community buildings like
Wi-Fi.
that will sometimes have Wi-Fi. No?
No, this is
Okay.
the country, ma'am. The country. So I got. Okay,
Ooh,
I'm not
cute.
finished. I'm not finished with it,
I
but
like
I
that
just
toy
want you
though.
to see all
Can I
of this.
envision you?
See this wideband? This I did last night, but all of this I did while we were sitting at the place. For
Uh-huh.
me, that is fast. Even your brother was like, "You are crocheting faster than."
Faster
He
than the
said, "I
speed of
can't
light.
believe you got all this done in that amount of time," because we were only down there for like I got all this done in about an hour,
Mm-hmm.
because then we ate and then we left. So
Yeah.
the first hour while they were getting everything set up or whatever, I got all of the variegated part done. So this is a stress hat because
Granny stitches go fast though. I definitely understand that.
but even when I'm sitting here at home, my granny stitches don't go that fast. Even as I was doing it, I was like, this must be the stress, because the more these people are walking around me and I don't know anybody, please don't come talk to me. Please
It
don't
was
come
an
talk to
adrenaline fueled hat.
me. So I just was trying hard to look like I was concentrating.
This is so
So
hard. So
nobody
much
would come
focus.
talk.
I don't know this stitch. Let me focus.
So nobody would come talk to me. So this, yeah.
I wish that
So
would
this
work for
almost
me when I'm at work. When I'm at work, I'll be at work and I'm working on, well, I finished at this point the baby blanket. And I would like, I had the baby blanket spread out over my lap, and I'm over here working, and I'm like down, like I'll look up, see if anybody like needs help with anything. Nobody's at the register, so I'm like crocheting, and I'll hear people from like across the way, like, "Oh, what are you working on? Oh, what are you knitting? Oh, that's so cool. Oh my goodness, that's good." One lady fully like, and she had like good intentions, but I also was like, "What? In the year of our Lord 2024?" She, stranger, walked around, came over to me, placed her hand on my shoulder, like the shoulder back area, because I'm
like
sitting on
walk
a stool.
behind the counter.
Well, so I'm at the balloon counter at Party Store, and so the balloon counter is like in the middle of the room, like when you have a kitchen and there's an island. So the balloon counter is like in the middle, and it's like a semicircle, and so I can walk in to the balloon counter. There's like a different tile floor. There's a brown floor and then the white floor that's the rest of the store. So I'm sitting on the white floor. I'm sitting on my stool on the white floor. So she didn't walk into the brown floor, like, into the balloon counter, but she did walk like around behind me, when she could have said something from like reasonable distance. But she walked up behind me. I'm sitting on the stool. She walks up and placed her hand on my like shoulder back, like the mom area where moms place their hands upon you. She places her hand on me and she's like, "I just
I
wanted
have
to
never
let you
placed
know."
my
And I'm
hand
like,
on your shoulder like that in my life, but I know what you're talking about.
"Thank you." And she walks up and she's like, "I just wanted to let you know." And I'm like, "Why are we whispering? Why is it a secret?" "I just wanted to let you know that what you're doing is so gorgeous. My daughter here, and she points to her daughter who looks like she is uncomfortable that her mom is having this conversation. My daughter also crochets, and we saw you crocheting when you came in the store, and I was like, look, she's crocheting. It's so good. You could do cool things like that too. And the daughter is like standing at the distance that the mother could have been standing while talking. She's like, I just want to let you know it's so gorgeous, and it's like so nice to see like other young people like you out crocheting and stuff for the keeping up. That's the other thing is I hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, thank you for like keeping the art alive," and I'm like, you're not on Instagram, you're not on TikTok, you're not on. You're an old. That's what's going on because you're not following Taylor Swift. That's what's going on. So people will come up and talk to me all the time. But speaking of Taylor Swift, before I move on to my yarny crafty thoughts, another side note, I believe she has graduated high school. Rose's daughter, I believe she has graduated high school because she has pictures from her senior prom where she looks like a grown ass woman. So that's that. Wild.
Well, I had one other yarny thought thing, and then you can go on to your yarny thoughts, and I can finish eating my fake hamburger. But so I did have several people come up to me and say, "Oh, that's nice what you're making. That looks pretty." Blah blah blah. And not Aunt Connie, Aunt Joanne came up to me and said and it was already loud because everybody's in there talking loud and children running around screaming. And she's like, "I want a hat. Can you make me a hat?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I can make you a hat. What kind of hat?" She says, "Like a mid-sized floppy hat." And I'm like, okay, I can look and see what I can come up with.
You get some raffia or some wire.
That was all the information she gave me.
So it sounds like she wants a hat for the cruise, like a beach hat.
So I'm like, okay, I need to get more information from her so I know what she wants. And then, so I was like, I don't have her phone number. I said, okay, I guess I got to get on Facebook. So I DM'd her on Facebook. And I was asking her questions, and I could not get the best answer from her. But I sent her a picture of, I'm trying to pull up Ravelry. I sent her a picture of what I thought she might want. You know, I said, do you want a floppy hat or a bucket hat? No, I said, do you want like a bucket hat or a sun hat? She wants a sun hat. I asked her, what color do you want? And she's like, I want, what did she say? She said something like variety of colors or multicolors or something like that. And I'm like, okay, what is that? Okay, you're saying multicolors. Do you mean you want stripes? Or she said mixed color is what she said. I said, okay, are you saying you want stripes or?
Probably, because if she saw what you were working on at the thing and you were doing kind of like stripes with the variegated yarn, that's probably what she's talking about.
And so I said, do you want stripes or do you just want random spots of color? And then I thought about it. I said, oh, she saw me using that
reef yarn.
That's the color way, by the way, reef of that other hat. And I said, okay, the yarn I was using yesterday is what they call variegated. Do you want something like that? And she said, that's fine. Okay, I only have one skein of reef, number one. Number two, dark hats absorb the sun. So I was trying to find something in a light color for her.
Also, shouldn't you make it out of cotton?
Well, I thought I would try what I have on hand. The problem is it's hard to find. I don't like working in cotton. It's hard to find. Okay. The hat that I picked was a hat that's normally done in raffia. And raffia does not come in variegated colors. So I was like, and I could buy some cotton, but I was like, let me see if it would work in the variegated yarn. And I told your father, because I was trying not to buy any yarn. And I told your father, I sent her the picture of this hat. and she said that this was fine. This is what she wanted. So I'm making this hat, but this hat is in raffia. But I'm trying it in what I have, and if it doesn't work out, then I will get some cotton instead, or some raffia. Although from what I've read, raffia is hard to work with your hands, so I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah, I've been wanting to get some raffia because I want to do I would like to do a what's it called? Some sun hats.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to work with that non-stretch. I was thinking I might just try to make some because I want to make some like sun hats with like the big wide brim, and so I'm thinking maybe if I do some cotton with a wire at the edge like I do for some of my witch hats, that maybe that would look okay. Is that the start of it? Oh, it's cute.
So this is the start of it. I've finished the increases for the top of the hat. So now I've got about like
going down.
Yeah, 15 rows or so before I get to the brim. So this is what I started working on after I got home from the
event.
So that's been my outside. So I did not work on my I worked on it a little bit, like went Thursday and Friday of last week, but then after I came back from from Saturday on, I've just been working on this and the other hat. So I really need to get back to my thing. But the thing is, if she's wanting this kind of hat, I'm figuring she's wanting it for some kind of vacation or something. So I want to get this done before we go on our vacation.
Yeah.
But I don't want to cut it too close and not get my thing done.
Is she coming on the cruise with us?
No, she's not coming on the cruise.
Okay.
So I think she just asked for a sun hat in general.
Okay.
So I want to try to get this done before. But it's got nice, yellows and blues. It's more of a lighter.
It looks like spring color.
Yeah, it's more of a lighter color, so I think it'll be better for
the heat,
sun. Because I think that reef, even though it's pretty, I think it will absorb heat. So we'll see. Maybe I'll have this hat done by next week. Maybe. Because I'm on the home stretch part now where it's just no more increases. It's just round and round and round.
I am not. I need to pick up my crochet along this weekend and just knock a good section out today. Or this weekend, yes. I mean, that day.
Well, you need to get, but you're still working on inventory, right?
I am. And I took an inventory detour to work on other inventory, which I will speak about in a moment. But I want to circle back to, so Taylor Swift wore that crochet dress and everybody was making the Taylor Swift dress. And now we have reached, actually we're probably past it at this point, the second stage of people talking about the crochet dress, because now that people have made the crochet dress, they're like, the amount that she bought it at doesn't feel like
I've been seeing those videos.
Yes, I've seen a few of those videos, but people are saying that the amount, because it was like $100 something, $200 something, something like that. It was like, I'm not remembering the number correctly, but it was something that like once everybody had made the dress, they're like, if I were to price this dress, there's no way that is a reasonable like wage for the amount of time that it took me to make this dress. But the two arguments that I'm hearing are, one, people have spoken to the company that makes the dress and they're like, we are not outsourcing our stuff. We are like individually making the things, and like we're making sure that we're working with ethical companies when we're getting our things and blah, blah, blah. So people talking to the company, and it seems like the company is trying to stay on the level. I mean, there's only so much you can trust what companies say. Like big companies like that say. And then but it seems like they have like smaller like bespoke lines, so they're not like mass producing a lot of stuff. And then the other side of the thing, because people are like, Taylor should have known better, blah blah blah, is Taylor Swift doesn't buy her clothes. Taylor Swift has a stylist. The stylist buys her clothes. Taylor Swift doesn't know what she's pulling out of her closet. She's Taylor Swift.
That's what I thought when I heard that. Am I not? Do you not see me?
No, your picture's frozen. Why don't we? You want to stop your camera and then restart it? Will that do something? Ooh. My tea is just now getting to the point where I can kind of drink it. It has been so hot. Hello? Nope, she's resetting things. She is readjusting. Well, while she is resetting and readjusting, I'm going to pull up some pictures. Yes, we're probably going to play games today. Probably not for very long because I do need to continue working on stock stuff.
You said games today, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is not Friday. But
this is the day that Ari and I play games after.
Okay, I am back. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, the thing with Taylor Swift thing. Yeah, the thing with Taylor Swift. Yeah. These people are like, Taylor Swift should be more responsible in what people. You hire somebody that you think is going to do a good job, but still, they're not going to tell you every single thing that they bought. And maybe she didn't even think it was necessary to say. Because Taylor Swift's been doing this for a long time. Crochet was not even back in fashion when she first became rich enough to get a stylist. So I'm sure she didn't know enough about crochet because she's been doing this singing thing since she was like 14, 15 years old. Even though she's an intelligent woman, just like with Jessica Simpson back in the day, when you've been like an actor or an entertainer or in those kind of athlete or whatever, in those kind of things very young, there are parts of your education that kind of get missed. And so there are things that you just don't. So she probably, she didn't sit down with her grandmother and learn how to crochet and know that crochet can only be done by hand and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? And her grandmother was an entertainer too. Her grandmother was a singer too. So.
Also, that's what she pays the stylist for. She pays the stylist to find her good things and to make sure that they're good. Like, that's the stylist's job.
But she probably didn't even think. She has so many other things to worry about to keep her empire going that it probably didn't even occur to her, oh, I need to make sure that the stylist is not buying my clothes from a sweatshop.
She probably doesn't even know how much the dress costs. Because again, that is the stylist's job to take care of that. Not to toot Taylor Swift because again, there are other things like the whole jet flying from a very short distance and all that stuff. Millionaires are millionaires. But this one particular thing, that's not her fault. That is absolutely not her fault. Anyway, so other yarny crafty thoughts. I finished the stuffy that I was making of the YouTuber and streamer Queso. I'm gonna pull up the picture of what I was trying to recreate. I'm pulling it up on my phone because my computer is really trying to just shut down today. So
I got you.
Let me see if I can pull up an
I almost held my phone up to the camera.
Let me get a clear image. Here we go. No, this isn't the one. There we go. Okay, this is clear-ish, but this is, you can kind of see. This is basically what I was recreating. I'm not even gonna worry too much about trying to make that happen, but I finished it. Let me share my screen. I don't have it anymore because I've already given it to the person it was going to. But here, there we go. I finished it. It's smaller than the one in the picture.
Yay.
But I feel like I did a pretty good job recreating it.
Is that supposed to be like his curly hair up there in the corner?
Yeah, so he has, in the picture that she did, he has a piece of curly hair that comes out of the hoodie. And so I just made two little curls. But yeah, And
so was the recipient happy with it?
Yeah, I sent her this picture. She was very happy with it, and she has gotten it, and she said she's super excited. I made it a significant amount smaller than in the video. And she's like, that's okay. I charged them $40 for it, and then I told her after the fact, I was like, cause after trying to, because all the like hair, the mustache, the eyebrows, the beard, I had to physically brush it out, and it took so long. And actually, let me pull this down real quick. You can see, so every time I have to brush yarn out, I always start with, I have my slicker brush, which is like the dog brush. Do I have one? Do I have it up here? It was up here at some point. Now it's lost to the ether. But I have the slicker brush, and it's just like the wire hair dog brush. And I will sit the yarn on my pants, because I'll always be wearing jeans, because I'm always wearing jeans. I'll sit on my pants and I'll brush, and then after a few times of doing that, I realize, oh snap, I'm making my pants fuzzy, because I forget that it goes through the yarn and is fuzzifying my pants. And so I'm like, I need to find another surface. And so I laid it on my table and was brushing out the yarn on my table, and it just took so much brushing, because there was so much hair. Every time I thought that I was done, I was not. And let me see if I can pull up the screen again. So if you look closely on the sides of here, you can see it kind of on the right side, but those are the grooves in my table from me brushing the doll hair out all against my table instead of my pants. So you can imagine how fuzzy my pants got. And then also, you see that white spot? This is just my table. This is an old table, so it has gotten like just kind of like grimy. Like I've wiped it with like Lysol wipes and like cleaning and stuff, and it's just like, this is just colorant that has soaked into the table from wood burning, from paint, from glitter, from all kinds of stuff. And so the table is like dark. This one spot, this is where I was brushing the hair out. You see how light that is? Because I tore up the plastic. I tore up the plastic into the table, and so now there's a light spot on my table. And there was like, I was having to like, I didn't realize until after the fact, but I was like brushing, I had to brush like plastic crumbs off of my table. It was wild, but I finished it. She is happy with it, but I told her, I was like, after completing it, I was like, okay, I charged you $40. I'm not asking you for any more money. That is what I told you. That is the price that I set. If anybody asks you how much that was, do not tell them how much I charged you, because for anybody else, it would be close to double. Do not, like, I was letting her know, I was like, you're a coworker. This is fine. I'm not going to ask you for any more. That is okay. This is a learning experience, whatever. If somebody else, because she's giving it as a gift to her nephew. And so I'm like, if somebody else, like if anybody else in the family sees or anything like that, if somebody else asks for it, do not tell them how much it was, because I am not going to do that for $40 for anybody else.
Makes sense.
It's not happening. She's like, okay, I understand. Thank you. So that happened. And then and
that probably bought you some goodwill with your coworker, because she knows, oh, I got a deal.
Exactly. And then I have essentially finished the baby blanket. I'm gonna just close off this last stitch, because I thought about going around one more round and playing yarn chicken, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. So let me close this last stitch and I can show you the baby blanket as well. Oh my god, every dog in the neighborhood is barking. Let me do this and close that off. And don't lose my bobby pin, because I need to hang on to those. Okay. Let me turn, and I'm gonna have to take off my little background dealie, because it is gonna hinder this process. Virtual background, none. All right. Can you hear all of the dogs barking?
No, I cannot. You know, I can't hear anything. We've had this discussion.
But I
don't hear anything but the person who is talking when I watch videos. I don't hear any of the background stuff.
But they are so loud.
If I hear something in the background, then the whole neighborhood can hear it because I don't hear it unless it's super loud.
Oh, that's the
That
fact.
is a great job. You are not going to miss that last little row that you thought you needed to do because you've already done a great job. It's
Yeah,
already super big.
it is. It's huge. It's like
And
it's enough to fully cover my lap and like yeah, it's good.
you said that was one cake?
Yeah, this is one cake but it's the ombre jumbo extra ombre something. Oh, I wish I still had the card, but I don't think that I do. Are you the card? Nope. Are you the card? Nope. Yeah, I wish that I still had the card. I wish I was cute like all the friggin' like Kelsey and all the people who like save their little cards and like this is how many cakes I've gone through, blah blah blah. But I
Mm-hmm.
like as soon as I take them off, those things are in the trash immediately. Yes, it's for a baby
Yeah,
Ronald.
I try to remember. I try to remember to save mine, but I don't
Ronald,
always.
a baby. We can only hope.
What did you say? A Gaby.
Because it's pride colors.
Yeah, but it's real. It's really nice. I like that. That's a good because also it's not because people tend to go all pastel for babies,
Mm-hmm.
and but that's like bright colors. I
Yeah,
like
the
bright
pastel is
colors for babies.
boring.
I like bright colors for babies.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
It's
y'all watched me just now. I just snipped off the end of that because I was like, I don't feel like playing yarn chicken and trying to see if I can make it and then ripping out halfway around. So
yeah.
I am done with that. I'm still debating because I'm not giving it to her quite yet. I'm still debating because if you look here, you can see there are the little loops at the. Let me see if I can hold it somewhere. There you go. You can see that there are the little loops at the end, and so I'm debating on if I want to make a cord to weave in and out of those loops. So like I was saying before, how you can like make a cord to go in the loops, and then it like gathers up like a bag.
Mhm.
So I don't know if I want to attempt to do that or if I want to just give it as is because that feels like a
I think
fun.
just give it as is
Okay.
because you
So
didn't
that
start
feels,
out with that intention, and I'm afraid that the loops might wear out quickly.
yeah.
If you started out with that intention, then I think there would be more of a reinforced loop. If the pattern was written for that.
Yeah, this is also DK yarn, so it's thinner
Yeah.
than normal. So yeah, I'll just leave it as is. And for anyone wondering how much yarn I had left, honestly, I probably was not going to be able to make it around another round because this is all that I have left.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. No.
But I felt in my heart that I might be able to make it. Okay, so that is the baby blanket. That is the stuffy. The other thing that I worked on was hiding in plain sight. Not really. Before I turned off my background, I had this sitting right here, but the background covers it up, so you can't see that they're
Oh,
hanging there.
what is that?
They're little lily of the valley. Is that what they're called?
I'll take your
They're
word
little.
for it.
I think. Oh, now I gotta look it up. It's
So what is are these are just purely decorative? Are they supposed to be
yeah, they're decorative. Sorry, I've got to look it up. Lily of the Valley. Yeah, so they're decorative. I was making them as car. Sir, you've got to stop farting in here. It's so gross. I was making them as little car like rear view mirror hangies.
uh-huh.
Um, and what are my words? The leaf here slides, so you can adjust it to whatever like length that you need it to be.
Mhm.
And so you can slide it on your rearview mirror and adjust it. And then one of my coworkers suggested, because I was making them while I was at work, one of my coworkers suggested, because I have bells, and I was like, I want to put bells in them, but I know that if I put bells in them and then put them in my car and the bells were constantly ringing, that would drive me absolutely insane just from like the motion of the car would drive me
Mhm.
absolutely insane. But she was like, no, you should put bells in them and then advertise the ones with bells in them as little like door bell things, like that you sit on your doorknob and then you can hear when
Uh-huh.
people come in and out of the door.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be cute.
So I think I might do that. I think I might put some bells in some of them. But I've got um, a few of them in white. I've got one more in white, but I don't feel like grabbing it down. You can see it right there. And then I made one with the pastel variegated.
Oh, that's pretty.
Cute. And then I made one with a purple variegated that I had. Ta-da!
Lovely.
So I think they look super cute. I
And
hope
that's
they
yarn you
sell.
already had on hand that you're just using up, right?
Yep. Yeah, the purple variegated was left over from one of the tops that I made. The green is just I just always have a bunch of sage green on me because that's just the color that people in this area like. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then I also made several poppet mushrooms because these were very popular at the last few markets that I did. The little fidget pop mushrooms. So I made
Uh-huh.
several of those
Oh,
because these are
okay.
ones that I can sell for $5, and they're the little ones that that pop like that, so you can fidget and play with them.
Cool.
So I made several of those. I've got six here. So I made six. I made seven, but I made one with the fuzzy yarn because I have the Sweet Snuggles light that I'm getting from Michaels because I found I like working with it a lot more than the Bernat blanket. So I'm trying to phase out the colors that I have in the Bernat blanket um,
Uh-huh.
that they have in Sweet Snuggles and just switch over to that because it's so much softer. It feels like I'm not like forcing so much and like tearing up my arm trying to work with
Yeah.
it. But the one that I made with the
Somebody else was saying that I was watching some I think it was Moon Bay Crochet on YouTube. She's a relatively new crochet YouTuber.
mhm.
I've only watched a couple of her videos, but she one of the things she was saying, I think she did like an unpopular opinions video or something like that, and she was saying that she does not like Birdnap blanket. She just does not like it. She's I
I
forget. She said it feels tough to work with, and there was something else about the way it looked. She held up two different things, and she liked the look of the other yarn better. So you're not alone in not liking Bernadette
Well,
blanket.
I liked it until I used something else. Because
Yeah.
when Bernat blanket was the only like blanket yarn that I knew for making amigurumis,
Hmm.
then I was like, okay, this is fine, and I'm making amigurumis, and it's so much bigger than the worsted weight acrylics that I've been working with, and everything works up so fast. And then
Hmm.
I had to go to Michael's for something because Joann's was I think closed because they don't pay anybody enough, and so no one wants to work there. That's just my Joann's. I don't know what they're doing. They start at $9.75 an hour.
Yeah.
So Joann's was closed. They literally had a sign on the door was like, "Sorry, we don't have enough people to be open right now, so we had to close early." And I'm like, anyway, so I couldn't go to Joann's, so I had to go to Michael's because I like needed it was like a yarn emergency, and so I needed something, and so I went to Michael's instead. And I saw the Sweet Snuggles light when I was there, and I was like, well, let me just grab one because this is a blue that like I don't have, like I don't have this like shade of blue for the stuffed animals. And
Hmm.
I started working with it, and I was like, I never want to return. It's what I imagine the like parfait chunky feels like. And I want
Hmm.
to get some parfait chunky. I don't like ordering yarn. I want to be able to pick it up in the store and bring it home. I don't like
I
ordering.
know. But sometimes you don't have a choice because around here the stores don't all have everything that you
Hmm.
want to try.
Yeah, so I might start ordering some yarn, but we'll see. But in the meantime, that like I've got some sitting literally right here. Is the This is the Sweet Snuggles light, and it's so like marshmallowy. Like it's that's the only thing I can describe it as is like the like Bernat blanket feels like an outside dog, and Sweet Snuggles light feels like a cat.
That's a good description.
Because an outside dog, like, yes, it's soft because it's a dog, there's fur there, but like, that's an outside dog. That dog's been doing some stuff. But
That's a
like,
good description.
Sweet Snuggles Light feels like a cat, an indoor cat. Anyway, so there's that. And then, like I said, I took a detour. I did some crafting side quests. So give me a minute talk to the people. I will be
Talk
back
to the
with all of
people.
my side quest items.
Well, I was just thinking the other thought that I had while she's getting her side quest items was that I am really happy that I am using up the yarn that I have on hand. Um, I was like that hat that I showed before. This yarn, the solid yarn, this is all I have of this solid yarn because it was sitting in my bucket over here that you can't see, the 18-gallon, Rubbermaid tote thing that I've got. And I bought this, the variegated's called Reef. I bought this because I thought it was a different yarn when I looked at it. I had a mystery yarn in my stash for a long time, and I loved this variegated, and the way it worked up in granny clusters was beautiful. And I made a hat out of it, and I made something else out of it, and I can't, but I don't, I didn't have a label on it when I got it. I can't find it. I'm 99% sure it is Red Heart Super Saver because of the person that I got it from, but I can't find it. And this is the closest to it because it has almost like, I don't know if it shows up in the camera, but it has almost colors that remind you of the sea, except the one that I had more of a sky blue in it and a white as well. And there's no white in this. It's just like a tan in there. But I found this ball of yarn because I was just going to do this hat all variegated, but I really wanted to put a stripe of solid in there. And I came in here thinking I had maybe some tan or something, and all of a sudden this popped up, and I thought, oh yes, this gives me a reason to use this little tiny oddball of yarn that was sitting in my tote. So I'm not usually not that lucky when it comes to using up my scraps or whatever to find things that actually match each other. So that made me happy. Okay, Maya, what you got?
Okay. I have been doing too much.
You've been doing too much?
I've been doing too much. I wanted to do some drawing, but I'm like, I don't want to do like little drawing. I want to do big drawing. So I've had these canvases sitting around in my craft stuff, and then I went and bought more canvases. But I've got these canvases, and so I have been working. I'm going to show you them in reverse order of how I was working on them, because I feel like they look better that way. So the last thing that I did with the canvases where I was like, okay, I'm done, is I had some paint markers. And so I painted a canvas, waited for the paint to dry, and then I took paint markers and drew a little butterfly. And then I took a pen and was working on this like Zentangle pattern there. And that is when I was like, you know what? I'm done. I got about halfway through this canvas with the Zentangle pattern, and I'm like, I am done with drawing these shapes. But this one is like the last one that I was the next last one that I was working on. But I think it looks very cute. I wish I'd had the energy to finish this. I will probably finish it at another time, but right now it is just sitting like this. But I've got just as cute. I like the color gradient.
My question for stuff like this: why are you not using a sketchbook? Aren't canvases more expensive than using a sketchbook?
They are, unless you get them at like the dollar store.
Oh, okay.
These are like dollar canvases. Dollar to like $2 max are these canvases. But so I did this. I like the gradient that I was able to get. I thought that I was going to do more in the background, and then I was like, I'm done with this. And so I took another canvas, painted it black, and used the paint markers. I like this one a lot better.
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
This one turned out cute. I'm probably going to put this on my table. $10 or something, because this is just like the kind of pattern that I would do with henna plus a little extra flair. So I'm probably gonna put this on my table, $10 or something if somebody wants it. So those are those with the paint markers. And then before I got the paint markers, I was at Five Below, and they have you seen the videos on, probably not, because
you're
you are in
already discounting
areas.
what I've seen.
You're in different areas of the internet that I am. But have you seen the videos of the people using the heavy acrylic, the heavyweight acrylic, the thick acrylic to make 3D flowers? Like they use like a piping tip like you would for decorating cakes, and they make 3D flowers on canvases. So you have a canvas and it's like a 3D flower up off of the canvas.
No, I have not seen this.
I knew because we're in different areas of the internet. Anyway, those gorgeous. Look up 3D acrylic flowers. So amazing because people will recreate people's like wedding bouquets and stuff with it. It's so cool. But I was like, I could use that in a henna cone and make designs on canvas like I do with henna. So I took some canvases and oh my goodness, these I just had to get these from outside because the paint says that it needs to sit outside for like 2 days to dry. Well, it doesn't say it needs to sit outside. It just says it needs to dry for 2 days. And I was like, I don't have a safe space in my house. I'm just going to put them outside. And so I've got this one.
Oh, that's nice. That is really nice.
Right? This is
you did that like freehand?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I just did a fun little piece. This is probably my second favorite one. This, even though I made a TikTok video of this, I spent a long time working on this. I think this might be my least favorite one. But I made it, so it's this one.
Oh, that's nice too.
Yeah, this one has rhinestones. So there's like rhinestones here in the pupil of the eye, and then these speckles kind of around. You can kind of see them glinting in the light. There we go. We've got
yeah. I can see the sparkle.
Yeah, so this one's got rhinestones. I'm just not super happy with the color because when you see those videos of the people doing the piping, they'll sometimes put two colors into the piping bag at once, and so when you pipe it out, it's got like an ombre, like two-tone thing, and I just feel like that did not look very good here. I have purple and white in here, and I just feel like it doesn't look the best.
It didn't come across the way you wanted.
Yeah, I'm not super happy with the color choice. I'm still probably going to put it on my table to sell, but I'm not super happy with it. And then I did this one, and I'm a little bit happier with the two-tone color with this one. This one I did white and yellow, and it's a bit more subtle, but I think that the colors came out better with this one. So this one is hard to see. So this is like a shiny metallic purple background paint. And then I did...
Oh yeah, that's nice.
But you see how there's like ombre of like some yellow, some white. Yeah, I feel like it turned out. I feel like it was executed better with this one, but I don't know how to do this again.
That's nice.
But yeah, this is a fun little piece. And then this is another one that I worked on that I like started halfway and then stopped. Was in those videos where you see people with the heavyweight acrylic paints, they'll do like little peaks of things. So there's like a bunch of little peaks across the Ronald, they're just art pieces because I was like, I need to work on something other than crochet, and I don't feel like wasting henna because it is pricey, and so I am working with just like cheap art supplies like dollar canvases and $5 like paints, so, and paint markers. But one of the things that they do with the heavyweight acrylics is they'll take the little bag and they'll just do like little dots, and the dots come to pink peaks like a Hershey's Kiss on the board. There's a bunch of little peaks. And so I tried doing that. One, it takes so much more paint than I thought it was going to. Because this is like half of a henna cone right here worth of paint. And I'm like, if this was henna, I could have done like 7 or 8 tattoos with that. It was just so much, but it feels so fun. It's got like a scrapey feeling to it. It's weird. And then this is the D20 is also 3D. You can like I'm trying to figure out which direction I can put it, so you can see that it's raised. It is raised. Again, I like the gradient. I was trying to like cover the back so you can just see the gradient across the D20. I mean, but I also I was using the purple, ran out of that, went back to my old yellow and like green one, ran out of that one, and I was like, I don't feel like rolling any more pens right now. So this is where this one is just sitting and living its life. And so going back one more iteration before I found those heavyweight acrylic paints at Five Below, I was like, I can make this. I saw in a video of a lady who was doing henna paint stuff. She said, take some glue, take some baby powder, mix some coloring in it, put it in a henna cone. You got yourself some paint. So I did that. And that's the first thing that I did. And as I was doing it, I was like, oh, this is a different consistency than henna. It feels a bit more runny, and it feels like I'm not able to get the details that I want. These are my favorite things that I've done out of all of the things that I've chosen so far. And I'm like, I should have just stuck with the baby powder and glue. But like, let me here. So there's this one.
Oh, that's nice.
Right? And I don't know if it's just the color scheme or if it's just like, but I feel like these are.
Oh, that's nice too.
Right? I feel like out of all of the ones that I've done, these are the best ones. This is my favorite one.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, that's really good.
And it doesn't like, because part of what I wanted to do was I wanted to like raise the effect of it being raised up off of the thing. And so because the glue and baby powder is runny, there's like a slight texture difference. Like right here where the dragon's body is smooth as opposed to the rough texture of the canvas. But it's not like raised or anything, which is part of what I wanted. But I feel like the details look a lot better. Like I feel like the
it
details
looks really nice.
A lot better than
really nice.
The like. Where's the closest comparison? Like I don't know. I think like
both of those are nice though.
But this one has like you can feel it.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how many people hang up art in their wall and just walk up and touch it with their fingers. But I don't know. I like the 3D. So the other thing though was this, even though it was runny, like felt pretty close to henna coming out of the henna cone. This is so much thicker than henna. And so I had to, like, when I was doing this one, I cut my tip really small the way that I did with henna, and then I was like squeezing so hard to get it to come out of that tiny tip, which is how I got these tiny details. And so when I did the eye and the big black and yellow one, this one, I cut the tip a lot bigger, and so I felt like I wasn't able to get as many like nice fine details because the tip was bigger. But also it has the raised thing, and so I don't know. I think I might go back to just the baby powder because I've still got like, hang on, I've got several canvases left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got like 8 canvases left that are all like this size. So I am probably going to go back to the other way and do more experimenting with that. But those are fun.
They all turned out really nice. They don't really look like experiments at all. They look like, artwork.
They felt like experiments. I just wanted because I have been seeing on my YouTube, even though they're old videos, I've been seeing on my YouTube, Gopi Henna. She is another henna. She's another pretty popular henna artist, and she has been posting herself using henna in different art forms, different mediums and stuff. And so I saw her doing some stuff on canvas, and I was like, I could do stuff on canvas. I could do blah, blah, blah. And then I'm not because a lot of times I'm just working with I'm just doing hand design or arm design, hand design or arm design, hand design or arm design, the same kind of things over and over, or the same space to work with over and over. And so I was like, let me work with a different space, a different medium, whatever. She also, another thing that I kind of want to try, but I want to wait until I get a bit more comfortable working with the bigger space and doing bigger designs, is she took some gel bleach and put it in a henna cone, and then took a black shirt and bleached a henna design onto a black sweatshirt, and it looked gorgeous. And so I kind of want to try that as well, but I want to wait until I feel more comfortable doing bigger stuff.
Cool.
But that is what I was for 2 days, just obsessed. I was I need to do something else. I need a different art thing. And so that is what I did for 2 or 3 days.
So, have we been consuming any media?
I have media that you should be consuming soon. Episode 2 of Error 313 comes out this Saturday.
Oh, cool.
So anybody who hasn't listened to episode 1, now this is your sign. This is your chance to listen to episode 1. Go listen to it, because episode 2 comes out on Saturday.
I'll probably listen to it again so that I can, before I listen to episode 2, just as a reminder.
Get us those listens, yes. We've been in the Discord. We've been like following the like number of downloads and the listens and the 5 stars that we have and stuff.
Cool.
So that's coming out on Saturday.
Well, I have been watching more Love Island
UK.
That's another way that I managed to get my because there's so many episodes, because Love Island over there comes on every single day during the season. It's like it's on like 5 days a week or something. So there's lots of episodes up there. So I skip over the reaction episodes where they have the audience and the panel reacting to because I don't know, that just feels cringy to me. And I skip over the unseen bits. So that's like every 5th episode they'll do the unseen bits and the reaction episode, and I'm done. I don't need that. But I mean, there's nothing special about this episode other than any other this season than any other season. Just that I can feel myself. 2 things that I notice every time I watch it. Number one, because we're watching it, I don't know what the weather was like in Spain when they filmed that, but I know what the weather is like here as I'm watching it, and it is in the 90s, and I'm watching them pass by all the shaded areas to go sit
in the sun.
In the blinding sun, not a bit of shade near them, and I'm like, please go sit on the daybed.
How else are they going to show how shiny their hot bodies are?
Go stand in the kitchen under the awning every time they go, or they make everybody gather around the fire pit in the middle of the day, and it's just sun beating down on them, and it probably feels great to them because they're all coming from England, where it's although they've had a bit of a heat wave themselves this year, but they're all coming from England where the weather is not necessarily bright and sunny, so maybe they like it, and maybe it's only like 70 degrees and it's a perfectly nice sun, but
not the evil sun that we got.
Really, I'm watching it with a neck fan, and I can barely leave my bedroom because I'm trying to keep cool. And they're sitting under the sun, and I'm going, please go inside. Please go inside, or at least get you some. Can they not put some deck umbrellas on there or something?
But then no one's gonna see how shiny their hot bodies are, Mother. That is the point.
See, that's the other thing. I did not think I was a prude. I really did not think I was a prude. I was a girl who wore short shorts and had her tiny little baps out when I was in my 20s.
Tiny little baps?
Oh yeah, they were tiny because I was a tiny little B cup before I married your father and had babies. And these things grew. But I used to be a tiny little B cup in my teens, so I could walk around with no bra and had no shame with my nipples pointing out through my t-shirt. I didn't care. But I'm watching these girls and butt cheeks on display. Every bathing suit. Do they not? Every time I watch the show, I think to myself, do they not make bathing suits that cover your butt? Do they not make? As a matter of fact, I know they make them because I've been shopping through swimwear because for the past 3 years, I told you I wanted to buy a different swim top because the top that I bought, the colors were not as vibrant as they were in the picture when I ordered it. But I live with it and I've had it for the past 3 vacations, but I really want a more brightly colored suit. So I've been looking, and so I know that they make tops that that cover your butt. I mean, they
Absolutely,
make
they
bottoms
do.
that cover your butt. I know they make tops that don't have under boob hanging out. I know
Absolutely,
that
they do.
these things exist,
But not in the universe of Love
but
Island UK.
but clearly they don't know where to find them because I am seeing butt cheeks all the time. And I'm like, and on top of that, it's unfair that I only get to see lady butt cheeks. Can I see some men's butt cheeks, please?
Equal butt cheek or no butt cheek, because that's my
Really,
mother.
really, if you're gonna show me shiny, glossy butt cheeks, can you show me the men's butt cheeks, please?
Ooh, Ronald said, "Girl, I joined a gay men's crochet group on Facebook that gets wild."
Yeah, I bet it's crocheted willy warmers everywhere.
Wild. Yeah, that's what I end up seeing a lot when I go to Ravelry. Apparently, those used to be all the rage, is what Ravelry is
Yes,
telling me.
the
Because
willy warmers and the thong. You know, I knit myself a thong once upon a time.
I know that.
Not that I would ever wear one, but I had the proper yarn and I just wanted to try it just for the heck of it. But I do not, unlike these girls on Love Island, I do not want a piece of string up my butt. But
Ari.
but I just can't. I don't understand. I just want once. I had brief hopes when they had the Golden Bachelor or whatever, where they had all the older ladies. But that show turned out. I want to see a Love Island type show with people my
Older
age.
people, yeah.
Or even if they're not my age, if they're in their, in their 30s, but have somebody on there who decides to wear a bathing suit that covers up her butt. I mean,
Then she wouldn't be on the show.
that's true. That's true. They wouldn't let her on the show.
Because on all those shows, you know that the modest country farm girl, like whatever, those girls always get voted off so quick every time.
Really? Like on this one, the closest we have is this one girl who had never had a boyfriend before, but she's a bartender, and she has no problem with her butt hanging out, but she won't kiss any of the boys because it's like we just met each other. I'm not kissing you yet. But what shows do they have where people are covered up, Ronald?
It's like regular dating shows, like The Bachelor or Bachelor Bridgerton. They were so covered up in that show.
I know. I wish they would have brought that one back.
Me too. It was such a good one. I'm glad that they had a black main girl for the one season that they did have, though. Because usually when those shows come on, it's just some like white lady, and so it's like it was exciting to see a black main girl like on the big show. But I wish that they would bring it back.
Yeah, but the circle, they don't really get to see each other. I mean, The Devil's Plan is not a dating show. I guess I want to see somebody go on something like Love Island and shake things up. Like maybe go and fool them into thinking that she's going to go in there and show her butt. And then when she gets there, all her bathing suits are modest. Yeah, I specifically want to see a dating show where somebody shakes things up. And where they actually talk about something other than, what are you thinking? What are you thinking?
It feels like we're kind of due for that, like, because I feel like in the early 2000s, shows like this, like reality shows in general, were a bit more modest, and then like the writers started to realize that people liked the people who were like crazy and outlandish, so they just started bringing more and more and more crazy outlandish people. But we've reached the point where everybody's like, all they're gonna have on there is crazy people, and half of this stuff is probably fake and edited anyway.
Yeah.
So it feels like we have like reached an arc, and maybe we're gonna go back to like being like shows that are like, oh, you thought those shows were good. This show is real. This show is super real. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Dilf Manor. Oh, good God. I've seen some clips of that kind of thing. Ugh.
Ari says, have you heard of the anonymous TV show coming out soon? What? What are you talking about, Ari?
I haven't heard of that show.
I need
Yeah,
details.
I've heard of the show Ronald's talking about though, because when I watch Gogglebox, they react to it, where the sons and the fathers are all on there, both trying to date the same women, and
I've
women
seen
are
like,
all older, like my age.
yes, I've seen like little clips of, it was either commercials or maybe it was clips on like YouTube, like shorts or something of that, and I was like,
Really, really, I want to see older people on a dating show, but not like that.
not gross.
Seriously. But yeah, I guess my wish is to see somebody, which won't happen, but my wish is to see somebody go on one of these shows and just shake things up.
Mm. Also,
You
is
know,
it too
have the
much to
one
ask?
modest girl among the girls who are doing whatever.
Also, is it too much to ask for more lesbians and bisexuals on these shows?
That would
Like,
be nice too.
what was the one show that we watched where it was all the British teens, or all the British adults, and they were pretending to be like
Model
American high
Hush.
school teens?
Oh, you mean that high school show that
Yes,
Lindsay Lohan hosted? Yes, I want them to do that one again. That one was fun.
that was good because that one, they definitely had a lot more like, but because the Ronald says they have a ton of bi women, but I never see a bi gay man. That show had a bisexual man, if I'm not mistaken, had at least one. Because
Yeah, they did.
He was the stoner guy who was there, and
Yep.
then there was also the bi guy on oh, what is Naked and Afraid of Love? Thank you. It took me a minute to
Yep.
walk through the sentence of that
But
show.
nobody picked him. It was so
Exactly,
sad.
nobody picked him. I was furious. I was upset because he was such a good guy, and everybody was like, "Meh, meh, meh." And I'm like,
Okay, Ari, when you get more details of this show, you need to post them in the Discord so that I can check it out.
exactly.
Like a link to a trailer or something if you can find it. Because I am interested. Because I do like Traders and I do like The Circle.
I like Traders. I'm not a huge fan of The Circle, but like, depending on how much they
You're
take
not
it
a
up.
fan at all of The Circle. I couldn't get you to watch that
I'm
show.
not a fan of The Circle, but in this season of Game Changer, they did a Game Changer version of The Circle, and I liked that because I know all the people that were in it.
Okay, I do not
what it
know
is about
which
normal
naked
people,
show you're talking about. I think I watched one show where they were naked, but I don't think it was a dating show. Okay, this show you're talking about comes out by Friday. It comes out Friday. Oh, I know what you're talking about, Ronald. Where they're all standing, and then like they reveal the feet first,
Oh,
and
I've
then the thing
seen
goes.
commercials or
Yeah,
whatever of that show, or like clips or something.
my husband and I watched episode after episode of that show. It was hilarious. The only thing that pissed me off about that show is that they would get people from different parts of the country, and then of course they would do the follow-up, and it's like, of course they didn't go out on a second date or a third date because one of them was too lazy to drive to where the other one was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at least you don't live in the US. I mean, you only have to drive an hour. Imagine on these shows here where there's somebody from Ohio and somebody from Florida.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the UK is smaller than that.
Wasn't that one of the issues that they had on Bachelor Bridgerton? Was one of the guys that she really liked lived in like New York or something, and he had a whole business there, and she didn't like. She's very big on family, and so she didn't want to move away from her family.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
I feel like I wish more dating shows would.
And that show, by the way, was not called Bachelor Bridgerton. For those who were watching,
I can't remember.
That was the nickname we gave it because we can't remember the real name of the show. But the reruns of it might still be on Peacock.
It was very good. It had like it had a black main character, and they brought her whole family in because they were doing the old school thing of like, you need to get approval of my father, and if my brother doesn't like you, then you can't blah blah blah, and you have to prove yourself and all of that. It was interesting. There was one guy, I don't want to spoil it for anybody who's gonna watch it, but there was like a scandal between one of the guys and the best friend. Ridiculous.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Yeah, that was a fun show. I'm really surprised it didn't take off, considering how popular Bridgerton is. I would have thought that the reality show version would have taken off. Thank you, Ari.
Where did you send this trailer, Ari?
He was supposed to send to Discord.
Am I
I'm not
missing
gonna
it?
try
I'm
to
in the Discord.
I'm not gonna try to pull up Discord because I don't have it on my phone, and I really don't want my computer to go kaput because it's behaving itself right now. But
Oh, he sent it in the other Discord. He didn't send it in the Coffee Klatsch Discord.
oh, he sent it to the mommy Discord.
Yes, to the game night Discord. I'm copying the link and putting it in the Coffee Klatsch Discord so that everyone can see it. There he goes. He put it in the regular one. And
But
the
yeah,
anonymous who will lie
Love
and hide
Island.
their
I can tolerate trashy reality if there's an accent. So
Mhm.
that's me in Love Island. My new goal. Don't you need to go take people to work? By the way,
They haven't come ask me
it's
yet.
12:02.
Let's get
Well,
ready to wrap
quickly,
up. But
yeah. Quickly, my new goal is to read my virtual pile of magazines. My not my Goodreads, my Kindle Unlimited subscription comes with. Did you switch to the rock music?
yes,
Okay. My Kindle Unlimited subscription comes with magazine subscriptions, and there's several knit and crochet magazines, and so I have subscribed, and they keep getting automatically sent to my device, but I haven't really been looking at them because in my brain I reserve magazines for when I go to the doctor's office. I take
what?
my tablet with me, and I read them when I'm at the doctor's office.
I'm
And
about to
so
say. Well, pause for just a second. I'm about to say a very young child millennial thing.
uh-huh.
What is in magazines? What do you read in magazines that you wouldn't just like scroll on a like what magazines are you looking at? I don't the last time I read a magazine was I had like an edition of 16 magazine when I was like 14. What is, because when I think of magazines, I think of like the ridiculous tabloids that are like, can you believe the queen rose from the dead and is a zombie now? Like, what are magazines?
Oh my god.
I know that we're trying to wrap up the show. What magazines are you reading? What magazines are you subscribed to? Are they articles? Are they the same things that I see people talking about in my long form videos?
There's articles just like you normally see on websites. They're on paper. But since I'm doing it in my Kindle, it's just like an e-version of the
what are the themes of the magazines that you're reading? Like
okay, like the magazines that I have right now. I'm bringing up my newsstand. The magazines that I have under my Kindle Unlimited right now, I have Marie Claire, which is a fashion magazine, and they have articles on things. Usually they'll have like an actress or somebody on the cover, and they'll have an interview with the actress who's on the cover, and then there'll be things like how to get the perfect cat eye, and 10 crochet looks for spring. Well, not crochet, but 10 looks for spring, or the best summer sandals for this year, or whatever. That's what you'll see in a fashion magazine. Then I've got subscriptions to Simply Crochet and Simply Knitting, and those have several patterns in them. So like you get your money's worth with those, because usually those magazines are somewhere between $5 and $10, and you'll get like 7 or 8 patterns in each magazine or more. And there'll be tips and tricks on how to do this kind of stitch, how to do that kind of stitch. There'll be an interview with somebody who has a crochet business or whatever, or they'll have an article about the history of knitting shawls in Ireland or something like that related to knitting or crochet.
I think I just don't like the idea of magazines because I want things more curated to me. A magazine is like meant to catch like a wide audience, But I'm like, if I'm
Well,
gonna do this, I will just search out the article that I want as opposed to like whatever articles the magazine gives me. Which is why I was like,
yeah.
what are the magazines that you are reading that you're not seeing other places?
Well, I mean, yeah. I don't know how to explain that. My other magazines I've got Prevention Magazine, which is all about health.
Okay.
Okay, and their latest issue, the front page article is "Feel Great at Any Age," and they'll have different health tips. They'll have exercises. They'll have healthy recipes. I also subscribe to All Recipes, which is just like the paper
Mm-hmm.
magazine version of the All Recipes website.
Website, yeah.
And the Pioneer Woman has a magazine, which I haven't really looked at it yet, but I've got 3 issues of it. And then I've got Cooking Light, which they don't put out like regular magazines, but they each issue is like around a certain kind of thing. Like there's the soups issue. I've
Mm-hmm.
got the 20-minute meals issue, the eat more veggies issue, and the smoothies and snacks issue. And snacks, it has 77 all the recipes. So like puts all the recipes in one place.
Okay.
So
I
yeah,
like.
magazines are pretty much, the magazine itself has a theme, and they will have interviews and articles and tips and tricks around that theme.
Go off, magazines. Go off.
And then there's magazines like Time Magazine and Newsweek, which are just like news related,
Okay.
that come
I
out like weekly.
I don't
So
know. I
almost
just
like a newspaper, except they come out weekly.
I just
Newsweek used to come out weekly.
don't. Ronald says when he was younger, he had several magazine subscriptions. I don't think I ever had a magazine subscription. I
No,
remember at least a singular copy of 16 magazine, and I remember, I want to say a singular copy of the American Girl magazine,
might have been.
but I never had like a subscription or something. And I don't know. It
See
just
you
feels.
see you benefit. That's the thing that I've talked about to you kids before, is that I learned so much of things by just like, we didn't have streaming services where I lived in the country. We didn't have cable. So
Mhm.
I would just, on Saturday, I lived out in the country, I had no car, there was no nearby friends to play with or talk to or whatever. So I watched whatever was available on the television. And I may not have liked it at first, but then I found something to like about it. And then, like, that's part of how I got how why I watch a lot of black and white movies, because that's what was on Saturday afternoon.
Mhm.
And you just watch whatever movie came up. You couldn't say, "Oh, I was in the mood to watch XYZ," and go on your computer and find it. You watched whatever came up, and
Well,
so you became exposed to things, and you learned about things because you watched whatever came at you.
that I
And now
understand, 'cause
you
I remember that from when I was a kid and watching TV and like just whatever's on. Like you have to try to and hope that SpongeBob is on Nickelodeon right now or whatever. Like whatever's on and you watch.
Mhm.
That I understand. I don't know why I'm so anti magazine. I don't know what it is that it's just like it's simultaneously they're giving me information, but like I guess it's not presented in a way that I super enjoy because like I like the way that the people who give me information present it to me, and so but like in a magazine you just have like however Sally chose to write it, that's how it's written, and Sally's trying to write it for like hundreds of thousands of people that might read this magazine, and also Sally might go through the article and then like I have a question about the one thing that Sally talked about. There's no more information about that in that article, so I gotta go look that up.
Yep.
It's just
Well, I mean, so how would you do it now if you're what, like, the information you get now, you're talking about you get information from what? From blogs,
I
from Facebook, from TikTok?
a lot of my stuff is videos now. I see a lot of videos now as opposed to stuff. But I feel like I've got, I don't know. There's a range of stuff, and the way that people talk about it is different. And so like I was just looking up electroplating because I was thinking about doing some copper electroplating. Long story, I'm not going to go into it because we already have the rock music on. But I was like, okay, let me look up stuff about electroplating. I go to YouTube first because I'm like, I want to see people doing this thing. I click the first video. I don't like the way this guy's talking. I click the next video. I don't like the way this girl's talking. I click the third video. Okay, the way you're talking is okay. I understand you. And then I'm watching. I'm like, I don't like the way you're doing your camera. And I click the fourth video. And like, I get to a place where I'm like, okay, I understand the way that you're talking and the way that like, I can search out and find a way that someone can explain it in a way that I understand, along with like pictures and video and stuff. And then if I need to know more about like, oh, which of these is conductive, which of these isn't, and then I can go like spread out through that. I don't know. I want to be able to select things the way that is interesting to me. I will come back to this. Next week, I will have narrowed down what I'm trying to say about magazines because I can't figure out how to explain it. But the idea of reading a magazine is so boring to me. Even though I don't dislike reading, because I like reading and I read articles and I read books. Like, none of that is the problem. But the idea of a magazine is boring and annoying to me.
I mean, I guess I understand what you're saying, especially, I know we do have to go, but when we were younger, there were more magazines. You know, there you could, if you didn't like the way one person wrote an article, you could find somebody else who wrote articles the way you liked them, or a magazine that had a tone that you like there, for instance, with fashion, there were several fashion magazines, but some focused more on high fashion and some focused more on budget fashion or this or that, and you found the magazine that worked for the tone that you were interested in, or the clothes that you were interested in, and then that's the magazine you stuck with. But see, now, because print media in general is going away, there's not a lot of magazines to pick from to find your tone that you like. So yeah, because it's all moved online. So
maybe I should read a magazine. Maybe I should read a magazine and I can figure out how to vocalize what I'm trying to say.
That would help.
Next episode, I'm going to read a magazine. This has been the Wednesday Coffee Klatsch. The other thing I was going to say was I was going to read my horror book and do the book thing at the beginning, but then I realized I'm not going to read it now. I'm going to save it so I can read it on the cruise, and I can like just lay out on the deck and read my book on the cruise. So you can continue doing the book things. This has been the Wednesday Coffee Klatsch. I have been Artemis, the magazine hater. This has been Dani, the magazine subscriber. And if you like the things that we're doing, you can subscribe not to a magazine, but to our channel on YouTube. Or you can follow me on Instagram. I see you out there, Instagram world. You can follow me on Instagram. Or if you like this video in particular, you can give this video a thumbs up. Can you do that on magazines? No, you cannot. You cannot thumbs up a magazine. You also can't see what other people are saying about magazines. There are no comments on magazines unless you get an old one from the library that someone wrote in.
There are letters to the editor.
That's not the done thing. But the editor can edit which letters that they put in, as opposed to comments on like a YouTube video or an Instagram where they can't edit it. But if there's a lot of them, they can't edit them all. It's not the done thing. So give a thumbs up and leave a comment to let us know how you feel about magazines.
Put a magazine in the comments.
Put a magazine in the comments. Is
there a magazine icon? Put a magazine.
I think there's a newspaper icon. So if there's no magazine icon, put a newspaper icon or a book icon, honestly. Whatever put the closest icon you can think of to a magazine, and we'll try to interpret it. And if you want to make sure that you are there the moment that I start speaking about magazines next week, hit the notification bell and it'll let you know when we're going live and talking about magazines and nothing but magazines. This has been the Magazine Klatsch. Goodbye.
Peace out.
Ending the stream.